Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to come. For some of you who don't know, PSIS 217 is a pre-K through 8th grade building, so we service 4-year-olds and 14-year-olds. We've had a lot of great things that we're proud of, and particularly this year with all the changes with the Common Core standards that you might have heard about, we've spent a lot of time really trying to understand what do those standards mean, what do they mean for us as a staff so we can norm our understanding, as well as how do those standards then get played out into the classroom using the curriculum that we have, but making adjustments because these standards are far more rigorous, and then at the same time providing supports for kids along the way. So it's been, I'd say, a challenging year. It started out as a challenging year, but everyone felt that we were successful. Everyone felt good with the work that we've completed this year. We're not saying that we're done. We know that there's always more to do, but we're ending the year feeling positive about it. And the other interesting thing about our building, being that it's pre-K through 8th grade, while we know that the academics are very important, enrichment programs have always been something that's been special to us and something that we tried to not lose despite the budget cuts from about 5 years ago. And that's when we really had to reach out to our PTA to help us support that. Because as a school, we were able to support that based on our initial budget 7 years ago. And when I'm talking enrichment programs, it's talking about the partnerships and the residencies that we form. So for example, our 5th graders will participate in ballroom dancing. Our 4th graders will write their own opera. And those are the different kinds of programs where you partner with a program and they'll provide an artist to help drive that within the school. So one of the things, too, in the past 2 years that we started to focus on was that we've always were seeking out lots of different residencies, but we realized there's so many great resources right on Roosevelt Island that we've started to now integrate more residencies from the island. So we have the Main Street Theater, and what we've done with them is we've had them help us find teaching artists. So for example, our kindergartners whose 2nd graders are doing yoga, fantastic. Yes. I think most of us would love to be, moving with them. Our 3rd graders are participating in African dance, learning different structures and moves and understanding different music, and they're enjoying that. And then our 5th graders are doing the ballroom dancing with another instructor from the theater. So that partnership, I think, has helped create a stronger connection to the community, as well as parents who are realizing there are so many different things that are offered on the island who may not already tap into those opportunities. And the other thing, being that we're pre-K through 8th grade school, is thinking about what are the right enrichment programs for middle schoolers. Because as kids get older, some things, and they've done everything K to 5, we're looking for other things to really not just excite them, but help them make connections to what it is that they're learning in the classroom. So last year, a former resident of Roosevelt Island, Robert Liss, had donated a workshop for us to do with the Salvadori Center. And this is a program that will help develop science, technology, mathematical thinking in kids. And our kids last year had to design transportation to and from Roosevelt Island, thinking about the needs of the community and a variety of different scenarios that they had given them. And it's funny to think that stuff is actually playing out now on the island with the addition of Cornell, but our kids were so interested in it and so engaged, and we're talking 12-year-olds, that we decided this was an enrichment program that we needed to invest in. And with support from the PTA, we had this residency for 8 weeks this year where students were building bridges from popsicle sticks, using Post-its, so many different structures. And our students would think about, what did I learn in the classroom? So our kids would debate back and forth, was it Newton's first law or Newton's third law that's allowing this bridge structure to stay supported? And they really made a lot of applications to what they were learning. So we expanded that. We're going to be expanding that program next year to 23 weeks. And next year they're going to be working on skyscrapers. But it's a matter of finding the right niche for the kids in our community and just thinking about what we're doing in our school where they can make that stuff, those connections. We know that water, since we are surrounded by water, is something that we're going to be looking to develop some kind of water study. It's in the works. Nothing's happened yet, but that's definitely been where we've grown to. And then the excitement now that Cornell is joining us is just knowing that there will be changes in the future. Well, let me work backwards for a moment. one of the changes that we implemented 4 years ago was that we have a new gifted and talented program in our building, and it's no longer new. We're 4 years into this program, so we're almost there in terms of staffing, having a K-5 G&T program. But this past year, we were asked to expand our program in kindergarten and first grade. And again, it's exciting for us because it's a new population of kids that are joining our island, kids from either District 2 in Manhattan or kids from District 30 in Queens. And again, it's just growing our school and thinking about the different needs has been an exciting challenge for us. So now just knowing that Cornell is down the road, we're thinking about what are the ways that we're going to partner with them. We're thinking about how their faculty will be a part of the island. But primarily we're looking to really tap into them as being experts in their field of technology and thinking about what are those expertise that can be added to our building. So with Kathy, we just met with her last week, and we've got a committee with our middle school science teacher and our middle school math teacher and our coach to really think about what are the needs in this building and how can Cornell support us. While we will ask for financial supports, that's definitely not the path right now, but we believe that a microscope, upgrading our electronic microscopes, there are lots of things that we know that Cornell has access to. We'll even take used stuff. So we're having conversations with them, and we're going to start having monthly conversations with them. So that way, there's less time. We're not losing time in between meetings because right now they were kind of spread apart. We also talked about professional development. My science teacher in the middle school is willing to teach a rocket class. I forgot what she called now. She had a variety of different ideas, but she's like, I kind of need to learn how to do this. If there was someone who could show me, she could easily do an after-school program. So Cornell was looking to look into that and get back to us on that. They also developed a partnership this summer with Girls That Code, and this is a program and an opportunity to help girls understand the application of coding and within the computers. It's a variety of different things. I myself don't know, but I'm going to go visit them this summer. They talked about how you can make an app, develop your own app. As soon as girls heard that, they were very interested. And this is a program that's normally offered to kids starting in 9th grade, but with Cornell's help, they lowered this program down to offer to our current 7th graders or kids who would be entering 8th grade. And so we have 8 students who are going to be attending this 6-week session this summer, and so we'll see how that goes. And we also talked about mentorships, having some of the Cornell graduates or people within their industry who can come back and mentor our teachers, but also our kids as they're doing their science projects. We were quite proud this past weekend. We're part of Urban Advantage, and it's a collaboration of all the different science institutions. And this past weekend, we selected 4 kids to participate in showing their science project at the Natural History Museum. So there was, I don't know how many kids, but they covered a good, the exhibit with the whale and a few other different halls, kids with their science projects. And it was just impressive to hear how our kids explained how the effects of acid rain on growing radishes. And they actually went through that experiment and could articulate the things that they would do differently next time, or how this applies to other situations. And you can see the growth and the changes in kids as we start to do more of these conversations. So we think that with Cornell's adoption of us and their presence in our building, we're looking to elevate the quality of instruction and the way kids are thinking about things. So that's where we are at our school right now. And our PTA has been very supportive in hearing what our initiatives are and what our vision is, and I guess trying to find the funding sources to make sure that those enrichment programs are alive, as well as the other odds and ends that we need in the school. Aren't really part of the school budget, but are necessary to the every single day functioning of the school. So I can let Natalia speak a little bit about
I can talk a little bit about these programs. And the enrichment program is structured in a way that there are few residences that spans over several grades. It's like Studio in a School, which is an art program.
Can you speak? It's tough.
About it?
Yeah.
Studio, as I said, like the big residences, they span over several grades. And there's a Studio in a School, which is an art program, which is absolutely amazing. It's been in the school for 3 years, right? Now, where kids learn a lot of techniques, art techniques. They learn pottery, they learn sculpture, they learn printing, they learn painting with different media. So, and it looks like fun, but they also learn what perspective is, how to mix colors. So it's very educational. The other residences we talked about is Salvador Center, which is back in Tokyo too. And what I also like about this program, it's not just art, it's not just math, it's not just science, it's also a lot of collaboration between the kids. So and the program teaches them to work together and to listen to each other and to find solutions together. So the other residences that we have, it's the gardening programs. We have 2 of them simply because one is the Dig to Learn and the other is Living Library. And we have to have 2 because one is not enough. We have so many kids and we want basically all the grades to be involved. And now there are 5, 6 grades that are covered by these programs. And besides these big things, each grade also has its own smaller enrichment programs, and they're tied into the curriculum, and some of them, and there's ballroom dancing, and there's Go-Go when kids write their own, they do everything. They write the plot, they write the music, they do the staging, the African dancing, the yoga, the other wonderful residency is New York Society, New York Historical Society, that we were very lucky to get because it's really difficult to get into this program. So you can see there are a lot of things that we're doing now, and we are trying to provide the money for this program, but we actually want to do more. And this year I'm very happy with the PDE, with the new parents coming. The people are much more active, and also with the help of the Roosevelt Island community, we were able to raise more money, like 30,000 more than the last year. So
I'm sorry,
30,000 more than the last year.
How much did you raise the year before? So I'm looking for the dollar.
Now we have about 90,000.
Wow.
And it was less this year. But you know, there are so many kids, and we want each kid to have enrichment and to have this wonderful program. So, and there will be more kids in here. So we are looking for more.
I've just been told that there's a whole group of people waiting in the other cafeteria.
Right.
And she went to bring them in. Okay.
Should press play on that. Just to make sure I see the